coming home. New York City, baby. I'll be honest, I'm pretty excited. Mama, Pops, and Cece, yeah, they're gonna be there. Playing in front of them in an NBA uniform for the first time is gonna be a special moment for me. Now, I know all of Harlem's gonna be watching. No pressure, right? It's all good, though. I've been waiting for this my entire life. And I'll be ready.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, land of the free and the home of the
It's time for some hoops at the home of the New York Knicks. We're bringing it to you live on 2K Sports. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday night edition of the NBA and all its great action on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan with Jeremy Lamb. We're about 3 minutes into this first quarter. And Charlotte looking who they've got. MKG and Zeller at the forward duo. Jackson is out there with Kemba Walker. And it's Jefferson in at the 5. The 3 from Afflalo. No luck. Some solid defense there from Jackson. Well, if you name an offensive stat category, the Knicks last season probably last in that category. All-around problems, Greg, for them scoring the ball.
Yeah, we may have to give them a new nickname, Last. How about last in fast break points, last in points in the paint, last in points per game, and then throw in bottom 3 in shooting percentage, and that spells abysmal.
And Afflalo kicks to Williams. Jefferson with the rebound.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
The shot's good on the assist by Walker. And that's 12 points for Al Jefferson.
Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
Galloway kicks to Afflalo. Hits the three-point bomb. Afflalo's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Walker the pass to Jackson. Inside. Al Jefferson again.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
And he gets it to go as they call the foul. He's on his way to the line for one more.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
For the Knicks, Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Anthony. And it's Calderon in for Langston Galloway. So an almost entirely new group in now for Charlotte. Kaminsky, he's checked in for Jefferson. Hansborough's come in for Zeller. Nicholas Batum, he's checked in for Kid Gilchrist. And it's Jeremy Lin in for Kemba Walker. And Batum kicks to Lin. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Lin's got his first basket of the night. For the New York Knicks, they come in off the loss to the Pelicans.
Yeah, but they didn't roll over in that game. Had a good chance still to pull out the victory. Just couldn't come through in crunch time.
Greg, I thought it was a solid effort from them all the way around. I mean, as you and I know, moral victories are kind of empty consolation prizes. A loss is a loss.
Batum dishes to Hansbrough. To the paint. Kaminsky, the pass to Jackson. Great pass to set up the lay-in. Jackson's got his first basket.
8 of the last 10 points at that end of the court have been scored on very high percentage shots in the paint.
And really, there is no resistance defensively right now. It is just far too easy.
Calderon with it. He's coming off a 10-point game against New Orleans.
And what I enjoyed when watching that game was the way he balanced getting his shot and also incorporating his teammates.
Hornets leading by 3. Outside, Lynn. Jackson setting the pick here for Lynn. Outside Jackson. Here's the 3. Good on the shot. Jackson's got 5.
Boy, what a slick job of passing from Jeremy Lin on that one.
And they're scoring pretty well as we conclude the first quarter. Hornets lead by 6. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. And Jeremy Lin, a player who's come a long way in his time in this league, from going undrafted out of Harvard to where he is now. He says he remains very grateful. Well, in a game filled with some pretty big egos, there are also guys like that who are living the dream in their own very grateful way. Lin has certainly seen the highs and the lows.
And Kevin, not everyone's a superstar and certain of their future. Sometimes you get to be a superstar for a brief moment in time, but this game has a way of humbling people, even those who started out humble, like Lin.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Hornets.
A lot of success from mid-range so far for them, guys. If nothing else works, they can always fall back on the jump shot.
And also, it's been a positive to watch that they've attacked the paint offensively as well. It's really been about the balance that they've shown.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. New group in for the Knicks. Kevin Seraphin, he's checked in for Lopez. Amundsen comes in for Porzingis. Derek Williams checked in for Anthony. And it's a Flalo in for Jose Calderon. They retain possession, and he gets the bucket. 6 points for Cody Zeller. Knicks trail by 5. After making it to the playoffs in 2014, the Hornets couldn't repeat the feat in 2015. A slow start probably, Greg, more than anything else did him in.
Really disappointing season coming in with such high expectations, and 33-49, just not good enough to get into the playoffs in any season.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go awry.
Here's Galloway, guarded by Jackson. Galloway kicks to Aflalo. Aflalo with another miss.
You know, for the Hornets, they've not made consecutive playoff appearances since the team moved to New Orleans back in 2002. They just haven't been able to stay consistent enough to make it to the playoffs back-to-back years.
Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
And really smart to draw his man out to the perimeter. He's giving up too much size to be effective inside.
Showed nice basketball IQ. I agree, Greg. I mean, if he finds his spot on the perimeter and doesn't force it, I think his outside shot will be hard to block no matter who's defending.
Some nice passing here by Charlotte. Just 4 to shoot. Jackson. That one bounces around and comes back out.
And guys, what's rough for the Hornets is that they were a consistent playoff fixture in the late 90s. Still, the team has never made it to the conference finals in its franchise history, and that should be a goal for them in the coming years.
Kicks to Galloway. Here is Seraphin. Last game he had 10 points. Williams passes to Seraphin. Amundsen dishes to Aflalo. Here's Galloway. It's rebounded by Kid Gilchrist.
And trying to come up with the highlight reel finish, somebody forgot to finish it.
Picked by Zeller. Good if it goes. He got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And we're through the first half of basketball here, and what's been a good one. Hornets on top. They lead by 3. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Well, Carmelo, some great help off the bench during this first half. What does their contribution mean to this team?
Well, I mean, we always believe that we have one of the better benches in the NBA. And when they come to play like we're playing so far, you know, it makes it a tough game, makes it a tough team to beat. So just hoping we can keep that up.
It certainly takes some pressures off the starters.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. For the Knicks, Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Lopez. Derek Williams comes in for Porzingis, and it's Calderon in for Langston Galloway. So an almost entirely new group in now for Charlotte. Hansbrough's checked in for Zeller. Batum comes in for Kid Gilchrist. Jackson, he's checked in for Lamb, and it's Jeremy Lin in for Walker. And Charlotte looking at who they've got. Jackson in at shooting guard. Batum is out there with Tyler Hansbrough. Then it's Jeremy Lin. And it's Jefferson in at the center position. He gives them a double-digit lead. And it's an 11-point Hornets lead.
Their interior defense has been dismal.
Yeah, they're losing the battle in the paint. And guys, Tyler Hansbrough, as heavily a decorated player as we've ever had in college, has somehow seen his numbers steadily decline in the pros. Last season, he was in for an average of only 14 minutes a game, the lowest of his career, and he also only averaged about 4 points a game, which also equals the lowest of his career. Yeah, you've got to make sure your feet are set when you set those screens, or they're going to call that on you.
Well, I thought maybe he was set. I know that's a difficult call to make, but I think they might have missed that one.
And New York making a change here. Serafin's checked in, and a switcher also for Charlotte. Kaminsky's checked in. Clark, Tyler Hansbrough has been a effort guy, but he hasn't just displayed the physical tools needed to match up, it looks like, with bigger power forwards.
Yeah, and if you lack certain physical tools, you better have a well-developed skill set. That other area where Tyler has needed improvement is his skills. Still young enough to turn it around, but the clock continues to tick.
And that one comes up a bit short.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
And Batum kicks to Jackson. Stolen by O'Quinn. Calderon against Len. Pass to O'Quinn. Fires the three. The Hornets pull it in. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Blazers.
You know, you hate to use this word, but I really felt like it was a sorry effort that they put forth on the defensive side.
Boy, that's pretty harsh from you, Greg, but you're right. I mean, too many times we saw them slow to set up and get on D or late on their rotations, and they paid a big price for it. That's their third straight make off an assist.
Great ball movement.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
Calderon against Len. Here's Serafin. Off the mark from 16 feet out.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
Jackson drives in. Rebound by Williams. From deep three-point range, and the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided, different look for New York. Serafin comes in for Porzingis, and it's Kyle O'Quinn in for Aaron Aflalo. So an almost entirely new group in now for Charlotte. Kaminsky, he's checked in for Jefferson. Hansbrough comes in for Kid Gilchrist. Jackson, he's checked in for Jeremy Lamb. And it's Jeremy Lin in for Walker. They've got Kevin Serafin. He's out there with Robin Lopez. Kyle O'Quinn out there with Anthony. And it's Galloway in at the one. So that's who's on the floor for the Knicks. He dishes it to O'Quinn. Here's Galloway, defended by Lin. Feeds to Serafin. Off the left rim and out. Lin the pass to Jackson. From the line, the shot misses. And so it's the Hornets taking care of business in this one. A reset.
Kevin,
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Welcome back. Ernie Johnson along with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Al Jefferson, just a monster first quarter of the game. He came out hot. And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K.
What a life, eh, freak? 1 minute you're playing 21 and horse on the courts in Harlem, and the next moment you're in the showroom, configuring the gunmetal and graphite exterior of your luxury car and your iPad mini. Oh, I bet you get a crazy crowd when you drive that car around the block in the old neighborhood, huh?
Yeah, I'm living the dream. Mad pandemonium. But folks from back around the way are real proud of me.
Yeah, I hear you. Local kid makes good. You know, it kind of reminds me of when I took my tech stock public and I rang the New York Stock Exchange bell, and my mom's friends called her up and said, "Maggie, is that your son on Bloomberg News this morning ringing the bell?" And my mom says, "Yes, sirree, Bob, it was him." That was a great moment, freak. And you know, our lives are like a pearl necklace of great moments, all strung together with the finest silk thread of memories. And we have to be very careful how we cultivate those pearls and we thread that necklace.
Does this meeting by any chance have to do with Vic Van Leer?
I grew up in the burbs, freak. I wasn't poor, upper middle class, comfortable. My daddy worked as an accountant for one of the largest insurance firms in the country. Smart with his money. Mom didn't have to work. I went to boarding school. And then my dad died of a heart attack when I was a freshman at MIT. I was a movie geek, wanted to be a civil engineer, but I made my fortune by becoming a hybrid of both those interests. My dad didn't want me to be an accountant. Oh, listen to this. My best friend was a guy named Isidore. Yeah, we called him Izzy. He was one of the smartest human beings I have ever met in my life. I mean, Izzy was taking second-year college calculus courses as a high school sophomore, right? Straight-A student, full ride to MIT. Izzy had the world at his fingertips. But he was always looking for trouble, and trouble found him. He ran with the wrong crowd. And when we got to MIT, he got this great job working for a financial consulting firm in Boston. But every weekend, he would fly to Vegas. You see, Izzy had a system for counting cards in Vegas that had the big casinos on the Strip. Oh, stymied. He would come back to MIT with suitcases filled with $200,000 in cold cash.
What?
Yeah.
So your man Izzy was getting hit off like that?
Like a fat rat in a cheddar cheese factory, freak.
Okay, so what happened to this dude Izzy? Because he's dope.
No, not dope. Dead. After he'd been missing for 3 weeks, the Nevada State Police never found hide nor hair of Isidore. And our friendship took a hit when he asked me to hang out with him in Vegas, and I said I wouldn't do it because I knew he was on a dark and twisted path in his life. And yes, he was my dude. But no way was I gonna throw my life away trying to show my loyalty to a guy who really and truly didn't understand what loyalty was all about.
So this meeting is about Vic.
Correctamente.
Okay, well, sir, Vic isn't Izzy.
And why's that, freak?
Well, for one thing, you and your dead friend Izzy didn't grow up poor. Me and Vic grew up in a neighborhood where we had to look over our shoulder every 2 seconds to make sure nobody was going to walk up on us and rob us.
True. Izzy and I did not grow up in the hood. But we, like you, thankfully grew up in a two-parent household. But even that wasn't enough for Izzy. He wasn't satisfied. He was always looking for a 5-alarm fire when he already had the warmth and comfort of a loving family. This is not about class warfare, freak. This is about the consequences of making bad choices and risking it all when you feel like you have nothing to lose.
Vic is like a brother to me, sir.
But you shouldn't be Brother Vic's keeper, freak. Would a brother go looking for trouble and put your career and your livelihood at risk by getting into fights at nightclubs and seedy after-hour joints and then scream to the media, "Yeah, it's all good, I'm an FOF, friendo freak. It's all misunderstanding. Y'all be haters, don't hate my game." I don't think a brother would do that to someone they really cared about, but a guy who looked at you like a meal ticket would.
No. See, you don't understand Vic.
Really? I don't understand.
No.
Look, man, it was a misunderstanding with the guy in the next VIP booth. His honey started flirting with me, so naturally I started flirting back. Next thing I know, Captain Cornball's off my grill piece beefing. Next thing he know, he got a 2-piece and a biscuit on his left eye. Hey, I don't know who hit him, and it damn sure wasn't me. Hey, Captain Cornball's mad because I'm an FOF, friend of freak. Hey, but check this out, though. He needs to train that hottie before he leave the house, though. Yo, he's hot as ain't loyal, man.
What's there to understand? Are you freaking blind? You know, I just want to know, how much did you pay your lawyers to make all this go away?
Almost $100,000.
Excuse me, son, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I said I paid almost $100,000.
Exactly. And if you keep riding shotgun with Vic, you're gonna go broke. Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Look, Vic is my friend, and I grew up with him. How many times I gotta tell you, sir?
Freak, this is not a request. I am not asking you to do this. I am telling you to do this. And the first order of business is that Mr. Vic Van Leer is banned from traveling with you on the road. Vic is banned from the locker room. And Vic is banned from this arena. And if I catch this guy, Vic, in or anywhere near the facilities, Mr. Vic Van Leer will be arrested for trespassing.
Are you serious, sir?
Brother, I'm as serious as cancer. We all know that can be deadly.
You know, when me and Vic were kids, playing summer tournaments at the Dome, we always imagined making it to the pros, right? And after the crowds left, just a street light was on the court, like 11:30, 12 midnight, even 1 in the morning sometimes. We used to practice player introductions, running on the court, giving dap, high-fiving the teammates. Vic, he would act as an announcer. You know, he would introduce me, announce my name on a loudspeaker, and the Jumbotron would flash my image like a little guy dressed in long shorts and a jersey. And now, fresh off his 3-game, 62-point scoring streak, the youngest player to ever do so in NBA history, Frequency Vibrations. So me and Vic would sit in those empty bleachers at the Dome and dream like nobody's business. And now I'm living a dream. For real. And in so many ways, Vic was part of that.
Please, listen to me. I mean, I know this guy's your dude from way back.
Look, me and Vic go way back like the front seats of a 67 Cadillac.
That's good. We go way back. Did you say front seats?
Front seats of a 67 Cadillac.
We go way back like the front seats of a 67 Cadillac. Well, do you have any crickets? I'm going to be the hit once again at Herbie Allen's Sun Valley Shindig because my fellow billionaires love it when I walk and talk that talk.
So that almost sounds...
No, let me tell you exactly what it sounds like. I respect, admire, and most importantly, love you as a human being and a role model. But I pay you a lot. And I mean, I pay you a lot of money to play for my team. And I am in this game to win it. And you can't win it with an albatross around your neck like Vic. So Vic is done. History. And here's some more lingo that I picked up from a former megastar who used to play for me several seasons ago. Thought I would never release him until I did. And now he's the sixth man on a struggling team in Venice. And yeah, I'm talking Venice with the canals and the gondolas and Harry's Bar, not the street ballers next to the fortune tellers on the beach in Cali. This guy used to tell me when he thought there was a player destroying our team, don't be a hero, cut that zero. And that is what I am telling you about Vic, freak. Don't be a hero, cut that zero. The only thing Vic brings into your life is headache and unwanted and unnecessary negative attention. And it will begin to affect your mindset. And when it affects your mindset, it's going to affect your play. And when it affects your play, it's going to affect my team. And when it affects my team, it's going to affect my money. And if it affects my money, Google Translate will become your new freaking friend. I want a championship ring, freak, and I want you to help me get that ring. And banners after banners hanging from the rafters in this arena. So, freak, hear me clearly and hear me good. V, G, G, Vic, gotta go! Handle your business. And remember, that contract you signed contains a morality clause, a very important clause that revolves around your conduct on and off the court, and how it can negatively impact my team. Now, I don't want you to have to learn Italian or Croatian as a second language. And hey, playing pro ball overseas, there's nothing wrong with that. But the arenas are nothing like this, nor will the money be the same. And on top of all of that, this is the U.S. of A., the greatest freaking country in the world. Ask yourself, is Vic worth all that? Think about it. Think long, think wrong.
Tell you about Vic. He has his bad rap. It's not, and I understand some of his judgments might shadow his actual character. He's not that at all. Man, Vic, let me tell you something. We have love for each other. We're brothers. Blood couldn't make us any closer at all. I mean, he has so much loyalty to me and to my family. You could see even Cece, has issues with him, but he still loves her. He still loves her.
Steph Curry and the Warriors next game. I've been looking forward to this for a while now. You know they'll be running and gunning. And Steph's gonna do 2 or 3 things that make you want to stop and stare. But we can't let that distract us. Because if we lose focus for even a second, they'll be up 20. So maybe it's up to me to put on a little show of my own.
Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. Doris Burke will be reporting from the sidelines.
Ready to go?
Well, it was the Golden State Warriors winning their last game against the Jazz in Utah. The Hornets trail. A big dip in performance here for the Hornets last year. In 2014, they were very tough to beat at home, and that was not the case in 2015.
Yeah, I mean, they struggled to string together those defensive runs at home. And in the end, that led to their less than stellar record.
And Golden State looking at who they've got. It's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson at the guard spots. Barnes and Green are the forward set. And it's Spates in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, Kevin, a moment ago, Steve Kerr and I were able to chat. With this being their first meeting of the year, he stressed to his team to rely on their instincts on the offensive end, saying, "We do a good job of finding soft spots in defenses and not forcing anything. As long as we can continue doing that here, we'll be in good shape. We'll see if that holds true, guys."
And Doris, appreciate the report. And we'll get to see early on here how coaches focus on their shot selection comes to fruition, guys.
And if they heed their coach's words and really commit to finding the best shot possible each time down, I think they'll be fine.
Teamwork is the secret here. I mean, if they're going to achieve that goal of shooting a high percentage from the floor, they can't do it as individuals. And, you know, that record for the Hornets last year at home, they ended up going 19-22, 6 fewer wins than they had in 2014 when they last made the playoffs. How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
Charlotte has gone 0-4 from three-point land to start out. Looking cold from outside. Walker goes in. Jackson has the open look. That falls. Nice feed that time from Walker. Walker's got his 3rd assist on the night. The Warriors trail.
And getting back to the Hornets, they were the worst shooting team in the league at home. And they have to remedy that in a hurry. Shot only 42% here last season.
It has not been an easy quarter for him, at least offensively speaking.
Here's Jackson. And there's a foul. It's on Maurice Spates. That's his first foul.
Yeah, no doubt about that one with the over-the-back call.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted to take him for a ride right there. Easy call.
So an almost entirely new group in now for Charlotte. Kaminsky is checked in for Jefferson. Hansbrough comes in for Cody Zeller. Nicholas Batum, he's checked in for Kid Gilchrist. And it's Jeremy Lin in for Walker. Golden State also making some changes. Andre Iguodala, he's checked in for Barnes. And it's Livingston in for Steph Curry. Livingston kicks to Thompson. To the inside, Spates. And he gets it to go. Spates has got his first points of the night.
And really a good job spotting his teammate near the bucket and then just pinpoint passing for the finish.
And Jackson gets it to go.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. And he made it look easy that time.
In the corner, Iguodala with it. Five on the clock. Back to Thompson. From deep. Plenty of offense in this closely contested first quarter of play. Hornets lead by 3. And the second quarter will get underway just after this short break. And here's Freak on his experience as a one-and-done college player. Now with more and more freshmen, Clark, making the jump to the pros, we can expect to hear more stories.
For an individual player nowadays, I think unfairly so, there's a ton of pressure on young guys sometimes to leave prematurely. We'll see if Freak's decision pays off for him long term.
And we welcome you back to start the quarter. Players had a chance to get hydrated with Gatorade. And there's certain to be some great basketball ahead for us. Looking at what we've seen from the Hornets, what do you think?
I tell you what, defensively, they have been in tune with one another as intense as I've seen.
Yeah, nice job helping out on the rotations and drives, doing really good work at the defensive end.
So for the Golden State Warriors right now, we've got Bogut. Livingston is out there with Barbosa. Then there's Maurice Spates. And it's Iguodala in at the 3 spot.
And Steve Clifford might not be the most famous coach in the NBA, but he has plenty of experience, and everyone in the league knows exactly how well-versed he is as a coach.
Livingston kicks to Spates. And the rebound goes to the Hornets. They put up a nice win against the Bucks the last time out.
You know, they played well enough to win, but to be honest with you, I just felt like their opponent's defensive performance was shaky at best.
Yeah, I'd go along with that, Greg. I mean, the game wasn't handed to them, but they definitely didn't have to work as hard for it as they should have.
Yeah, perfect release that time. I mean, I thought it might get blocked, but no.
Yeah, he was giving up a lot of size in that particular matchup, but showed the excellent ability to get off that shot despite the disadvantage in size.
Leandro Barbosa on the wing. That drops, and it comes off the assist from Livingston. Barbosa's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Now Lynn. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Jackson misses. And here we go with Barbosa. Heading to the hoop. That's good.
Well, that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, nice job there, Greg. Recognizing the opportunity was there to push it, and then excellent execution.
Lynn the pass to Jackson. Kaminsky dishes to Jackson. They swipe it. And now running up the court, Barbosa pushing it up, so they take the lead. And we'll get a look at how the hustle stat game has been going for the Warriors.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught them off guard, playing airtight defense and coming up with the steals.
And also, how about the fact defensively, they're getting that backboard and getting out in transition, especially in this first half.
Both teams making some changes here. And a pretty tight.
Thank you, Kevin.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. It's been quite a game for Andrew Bogut.
Yeah, he's been a revelation tonight, almost scoring at will in that first half.
Really hard to fathom.
Jackson, he's checked in for the Hornets. Here's Walker. He's got 9. Zeller and Jefferson are inside. Jackson is out there with Kemba Walker. And it's Kid Gilchrist in at the 3. So that's the lineup for Charlotte. Here's Jackson. He nails it, and we're tied up. Jackson's got 11 points.
What handles? He broke the D down to the ground with that move.
And really, the Warriors had an amazing regular season last year. Just from a historical standpoint, it was one of the best ever. Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D, just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
And he overdid it there. Too much force, it looked like, on the foul, and he's called for the flagrant.
And Kevin, I got to tell you, he's probably fortunate to just get a flagrant 1 there. I mean, so much contact The officials easily could have gone even harder on it.
Greg, I agree. He better be on his best behavior from now on. One more flagrant of any variety, and he's out of here. Expanding his range. No luck, and Golden State will go the other way with him. And for the Warriors last year, they would end the season with 67 wins. That number, Clark, tying for the sixth best win total in NBA history.
And my guess is only a few people saw it coming. I mean, and as the season wore on, it became more and more apparent the Warriors were for real, but it took a while for people to accept that fact.
And Walker kicks to Jefferson. Here's Jackson. Jackson missing again. The Warriors have gone just 25% from the field here in the second half. They're 2 of 8. And it's Green missing. Charlotte has gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Jefferson passing to Jackson. Pulls from the top of the key. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Jackson's got 15 points.
And when he breaks out the crossover, you can be sure he's going to leave somebody in his wake.
Curry dishes to Green. That doesn't go either for Green. The Hornets have gone an even 50% from the floor here in the third quarter. 4 of 8. Jackson kicks to Jefferson. Barnes against Jackson. Picked by Zeller. Just 5 to shoot. 13 feet away. Almost, but it rolls out. Golden State's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. And again, it's the Warriors missing. A nice bounce back year for Harrison Barnes, Clark, in year 3. Moved into the starting lineup last year and really responded.
Yeah, he did. I think he benefited from the new system. He was miscast as an isolation scorer, but when he can spot up for threes and catch the ball on the move, that's his game.
Oh, boy, I tell you what, they don't get much uglier than the quarter he's having.
Yeah, and it's not showing any signs, Greg, of turning around here soon. I mean, his touch is basically gone AWOL.
The Warriors trail. Here's Thompson. And he gets it to go.
In that tight, with that much of an advantage height-wise, there's just not a lot the defense can do.
And here's a group of players that have really been showcasing their versatility recently. The leading three-point shooters among centers and power forwards over the last 10 games. Draymond Green, 4th.
And, you know, there was a time in the league when you wouldn't see a group of big guys like this, but the game has evolved. Versatility now is why we see so many bigs that can just flat out shoot it from anywhere.
And these guys are really incredible. I mean, on one trip, they give you points in the paint. On the next trip, they give you points behind the arc. Boy, talk about range and versatility and spades. You got it.
Green with a screen for Iguodala. Lynn with the steal. And now it's Lynn running. He can go all the way. Lays it in off the breakaway. Lynn's got his first bucket of the night. And an important part of every team's game. A look at the hustle stats for the Hornets.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
They have, but you also can't overlook how well they defended the rim, as they've challenged every shot and also gotten quite a few blocks as well.
Livingston, no luck. Charlotte in the lead. Kicks it to Jackson. Inside, Iguodala with the steal. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Passes it to Livingston. At the elbow, it's Iguodala. Barbosa against Hansbrough. Shot clock at 6. Teardrop shot, and Green with the lay-in. Green's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
Guys, that time he went for the fancy finish for us there, man. That was sweet.
3rd quarter comes to a close, and a battle brings it to a tie. And we're coming right back. Be sure to stay with us as we get started for the 4th quarter. Welcome back as we get rolling once more. Some changes here for the Hornets. Zeller, he's checked in for Batum. Jackson comes in for Kid Gilchrist. And it's Kemba Walker in for Jeremy Lin. And then for Golden State, Draymond Green, he's checked in for Spates. Barbosa comes in for Thompson. And it's Livingston in for Steph Curry. It's the first, and that will put them up by 2. And some changes here for the Warriors. Klay Thompson comes in for Leandro Barbosa. And Steph Curry is subbed in for Sean Livingston. So for the Golden State Warriors right now, Barnes and Green are the forward set. It's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson. They're in the backcourt. And it's Iguodala in the center, locking down the middle. And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what Steve Kerr was saying to the team. He told his guys, time's running low. If we're going to make our move, it's going to be now. Are you guys ready? And as they nodded, he said, let's go get it. Kevin?
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
Here's Jackson. Misses the 3. It's Curry outside. Oh, it's no good. And we're headed to overtime. Time expires, and we're going to overtime. 2K Sports, back in a moment here at the top. Welliker just joining us. This one has been a great one. We've got overtime action now, folks. So Golden State will get the first possession. And always a good ride in these post-regulation battles. This overtime now looking to be an exciting one. Courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineup for us now in overtime. Setting the floor for the Warriors. It's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson. They're in the backcourt. Iguodala and Green are set at the forward spots, and it's Barnes in at the 5. Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Well, Kevin, Steve Clifford was just going over the game plan with his team. He went over the offensive plan and that it hinges on running things through Jefferson. Coach reminded them that he is supposed to be the key factor tonight, and he still wants to see that happen. He also told them that he wants to see multiple passes on every possession. He said that was the key to getting the best shot each time down. Even in overtime, they're still willing to shake things up. Certainly a bold move at this point in the game, Kevin.
And thanks for that story, Doris. Charlotte shooting a mediocre 41% in this one. Walker the pass to Jackson. Goes up on the wing. The shot's good on the assist by Walker. And that's now 19 points for Freak.
Boy, just an excellent assist. Nice work from Kemba Walker.
To the paint. And with that, the Hornet lead is cut down now to just 2 on the basket from Iguodala.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
Zeller setting the pick for Walker. Pass to Jackson. He dishes it to Zeller. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. and it goes on Draymond Green. You can see the leadership qualities on display right there, guys. And so it's the Hornets who come out on top. They escaped with a victory, although they needed Clark an extra period to get it done.
Well, I think it was one heck of a ball game. Both teams gave great effort, and the bounces just went their way in overtime.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, Clark Kellogg, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. And now time to send it over to the
2K Sports postgame show.
Hi again, everybody. This is Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time now to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Kemba Walker. He's not always known to make the big headlines or get a lot of media attention, but he does make the big plays, and he made them throughout this one.
You know what, Ernie? I must admit it. I didn't see this kind of performance come from.
And, folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a great night.